welcome back to Two Homos 100 Thoughts coming to you from Chicago. This is Raciel.
And coming to you from Dallas, I'm Armando.
And so, since we've been a little behind and we started this thing a little late, we're going to do a recap on what we think of this season of Dallas so far. All right, so we're just going to start going down the list of housewives and we're just going to start giving our thoughts on each one. So we can just start with D'Angelo. How are we feeling about D'Angelo this season?
D'Angelo this season is giving me like Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with like her whole like shaman person who does hair installs as well. And,
oh my God, stop.
And her oversensitivity with Carrie, like before she was like, you know, like picking on people too and stuff. And now I feel like she's being oversensitive, if you ask me.
How did you feel about her before? Did you like her previous seasons?
Previously, not so much. I mean, I was growing to like her last season was like my breakthrough where I'm like, okay, I could like her, but this season around, I'm like back to just like not liking her.
I liked her first season. I feel like she had a really good first season, but then I just felt like I started to just not like her. I feel like the show really got to her head the way it got to like Dorinda, you know how I mean? I just felt like it just really got to them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, this season I am liking her and I hate Carrie for making me like her because I'm more on D'Angelo side and Carrie's side this season.
Right.
And speaking of, how do we feel about Carrie?
I am actually liking her this season, honestly. Like,
really?
Yeah, like last season I sympathized with her a lot, and this season I guess like I just wanted to like her and I did. So I don't know, like I am like liking her. Like I think her storyline is there. She's not boring to watch. So I don't know. I'm like really enjoying Carrie this time around.
Really, I liked her last season, but I don't know. This season, I'm kind of not caring for her, to be honest. I don't know why. She just seems like a bitch, you know. And I don't know. I'm not crazy about her this season, but we'll just keep watching. And how about Cameron Westcott? How are we feeling about her?
Cameron Westcott. I mean, I feel like she's like a toddler in a pink bow. Honestly, like watching her, like she's just. I don't know, like she has that like typical like white girl blonde vibe to her. I don't know, that's how I feel.
Yeah, she gives me a very Karen vibe, but at the same time, I feel like she is a good housewife because she's rich. She does speak up for herself. She's quirky. She has her dumb moments. She seems a little smart, but I don't know. Like her first season, I wasn't crazy about her, but I I like her. She's okay with me.
Right, exactly. I'm liking her storyline this time around, honestly. Like the whole dream house and then like the whole dramatic that it goes, like where she didn't get the dream house, but she might get it. So it's
I'm not crazy how she's treating Tiffany though. I don't know. I just feel like she's just trying to find some camera time.
I'm living for her and Carrie. It's like the 2Ks this season, Cameron and Carrie, like
oh, I have to disagree. I'm feeling Cameron more than Carrie, but all right, so how about Stephanie? I know you love Stephanie.
I do love Stephanie. I'm like really enjoying her this season. Like her whole like she wants to like feel important, so she's like opening a charity and like I don't know. I've always liked her. I've always liked that she's so calm and she doesn't speak out as often, but when she does, it's effective. So I've always liked Stephanie.
I feel like that's her storyline every season about like her like speaking up with her husband and having a voice. It's like, girl, like. I mean, I feel like they still have a good dynamic, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about her. I feel like she's speaking up a little this season, like against Tiffany, but I feel like for the wrong reasons. I feel like she could have spoken out more the previous seasons, and she never has.
Oh, Brandy, she's not being open. Right. She's not being open at all. Like she could have an amazing storyline if she was open with all the crap she has in the closet hidden. But
did you see that video of her husband? Yeah, of like her husband making out with someone, like some tatted chick.
Yeah, that is very bad, honestly.
She blocked me, so we all know I don't like Brandy. I think she's the worst. She even pissed me off even more in the recent episode, one of the recent episodes where Tiffany played a joke on her and put crickets in her food, and she like started throwing up and doing all this shit. Like, girl, you wore a shit hat to like a party. Right. Like, do you remember that? Like, I don't know if you like watched it, like in the first season, how there was like this charity event like revolving around hats, and she like wore a hat full of shit on it, like fake dog poop or just fake shit.
Right.
Like I don't know. She's trash to me. Mm-hmm. Anyway, next, and then last but not least, how do we feel about Tiffany Moon? I love Tiffany.
I mean, she's a hard worker, so I'll give her that. I mean, she's I don't know. It looks like someone who has two jobs now and she's like lost in it. And I feel like she's gonna pull a Wendy and be like, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I want to live my dream of being a
As a
reality,
housewife.
you know, being
I
like,
don't know. I don't know if she's going to be back after this season. I feel like she's having a hard first season, and it's because of not because of the fans, it's because of the group of women. I feel like they all just keep coming for her for like the littlest things, and I'm not really liking that. I don't like how they're.
I mean, it's her first season. It's her first season, so like, I guess they don't want her to have it too easy, or like, you know, you kind of have to earn your spot, and you have to bring something to the table. Like, you can't expect everyone to play nice your first
Things
season.
that they're coming at her about, it's like stupid. Like if they came at her about better things, I'd be like, okay, you know, but like Stephanie came at her about supposedly bragging about her toilets. You know, like I found that stupid. Brandy did that whole thing about like with the crickets. I thought that was stupid. They were all mad that she texted them about having to leave at 10:30 when she has to work the next day. I don't know. I don't get why they were all so bothered by it, you know, because I mean she is trying, you know, she's trying to be part
Yeah.
of the group.
I mean, you can tell she comes from a different background, as you mentioned. But I mean, like, I haven't been to too many places where they tell me what time to leave before I even get there. So I don't know that I don't get. I could feel weird about that if I'm going to a party and they're like, you have to leave at 10:30 and it's, you know, you're on the car right there. That could be weird. And I could see why they were kind of mad at her for that. But I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like they should have let it go before they got there, or you know, at least respected her house and followed her rules.
No, exactly. And not only that, but I don't get what the fuck Brandy's talking about that she feels uncomfortable around Tiffany, that she makes her feel uncomfortable. Why? Because she's Asian and she had a racist video of her come out. Like, why is she uncomfortable around her that she can't be herself? Why you can't? You're afraid you can't
You
be
can be
racist.
racist. Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly
Like
how
she's
it's out.
like, bye with her red hair, bye clown, bye. Like,
No, yeah, for sure. Like I can like understand if like you're uncomfortable by someone, but if you're uncomfortable by someone because of what their nationality is, it's like
and for what she did, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, why are you so uncomfortable? And the fact that these girls are like comforting her about it, you know? But I mean, no offense, it is Dallas and it is sex. You know, like you kind of expect that, you know? And I don't know, but it's weird because even like Carrie, I feel like, I don't know, someone being Mexican, you would think that someone would, especially with what happened to her last year and last season with Leanne, like being racist to her. Speaking of, how are you feeling about the first season without Leanne?
it's missing something. It's missing something.
You think so?
You know what I mean? Like it's missing something. It's missing that little flair and like they're trying to make Carrie that, and I feel like that's probably why you don't like her. But I mean, like they're just
And I feel like Deandra's trying to be that.
exactly. But in
You
reality, it's
know?
like Mama D is at the end, like step aside, bitch. Like
Okay, Mama D's here to hold that center star. But I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, I do kind of feel a little missing with Leanne, as horrible as she was. Like, I feel like she did bring a lot to this show. Like, she was like not the richest, but she didn't care. She was born to be a reality star. She just
she
put
brought
whatever she wanted out there. Like, she got her tits done and then went to Mexico the next day. You know what I mean? Like, this bitch was determined to put on a show for us, and she brought racism with her. So, sucks to be racist. So, she had to go.
I mean, to be honest, like, would it be a good representation of Texas if they didn't pepper in that racism in the show? Like, it's everywhere. Like, I'm pretty sure when you came here from Chicago, you were like, why are people like this? Like,
You know what's surprising to me is people always ask me, they're like, "Oh, like how was it like living in Texas?" And I'm like, you know what? I honestly didn't have a bad experience with like
mhm,
racism or homophobia or nothing, to be honest. And maybe because I like lived in the city, but still,
mhm.
like I didn't. I mean, the homophobia I did receive from was from Mexicans, and you know that because you saw it.
Right, right. I mean, you were always, I mean, like, obviously, like, for the viewers, whoever's viewing, me and Rocio worked our first job, well, my first job out of high school together, and I experienced some homophobia there. I don't know if you did, but
I did. We both did, and we left for the same reason.
yeah, but I feel like they were nicer to you about it. Like, for you, they were kind of accepting, like, they would cook you breakfast sandwiches and stuff. I would pull up on the spot and they would not stop making like gay slurs, gay names, gay stuff like
They always made gay names to me.
like I just it's like I don't know, it got to me, so I had to leave. I went
Oh no, it got to me too. I walked out on the shift. We both walked out. They support homophobia.
I feel like they do, honestly.
Watch them send us a letter after
And
this.
you got me popping this, talking about Smash Baby stuff.
I know. I need. I
I'm
need to
like,
do
our
research.
manager was a theater major. That's how bad she can make it in life. Past the homophobia.
Moving past the homophobia, back to Dallas.
Back to Dallas. Yes. Alrighty, so
Dry.
this season has been a little dry.
Like, don't get me wrong. I do like that there are a lot of group events, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of group, but and then I don't. What even happened to Cameron's friend Jen? Remember that redhead? She got on my nerves from the moment she jumped in.
She's still like floating around. I feel like she's like a floater. Like she comes and she goes. Like sometimes she's there, sometimes she isn't.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her. She annoyed me the second her and Brandy went into the closet to show each other their fire crotch vaginas. I didn't feel that. I didn't think that was like a funny TV moment. Like I saw what they were trying to do, but it just didn't. It wasn't funny.
So Tiffany gets introduced, and when she gets introduced, she's having like a sit down with like Deandra and Mama D. So that kind of lets us know that they're like close like that, like they're close friends to the point where Mama D's involved and she defends Tiffany, and like.
I love Mama D. I don't know why Mama D is like not in the show herself. I'd rather have her on the show than Deandra. But did you see the most recent episode where Mama D and Deandra get into it at a party? I saw a clip on Twitter and I still haven't watched it.
Yes, I saw that clip on Twitter, and I'm excited to see that fight. If it's like some fake Melissa Gorga cheating on Joe crap, I'm gonna be upset because
I doubt it because with Deandra, if you notice, all her problems are like with money. You know what I mean? Like all of her storylines has to do like her problems with her mom or with money, and then like she just talked about it this season. She has this brother apparently that have problems because of money. Like all her problems revolve around money. Like girl.
It's funny how like for someone whose problems resolve around money, like she spends it like she won the lotto like last Tuesday. And she has a shaman. Who the hell? I didn't even know what that was.
He's totally scamming her out of her money.
He totally is scamming her. Like he literally plays something right out the iPhone. Like
I'm like, no, he doesn't even know what it is.
Have a bowl of water, do something, and make that thing to me, bitch. Because what he gets paid, no.
Oh my god! And in that episode in the season premiere, when he like blew into her nose, I'm like, that's what started COVID. Like, I'm convinced that's what started COVID.
And then she's like, oh shit.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Cameron, her storyline this season is like with her new dog and like getting a house.
She got a garage sale, which that I enjoyed because garage sales in Texas are everywhere, honestly, and no one has no shame. You go to the rich neighborhoods for garage sales because they will sell everything so cheap. Like
so I love a good garage sale. I honestly would have bought that pink tree for like $300.
Probably, even though she took it inside because she still wanted it for her forever home.
No, for real. And then, okay, so Carrie, her storyline this season is like she's been talking about her daughter, and I don't know, like I feel bad for her daughter. I don't know if she really wants to talk about it on camera. I feel like it's a little forced by Carrie.
It is a little forced. Like it came out at too much of a convenient moment. You know what I mean? Like she's arguing with someone and then she uses that kind of like to one up them. Like, when do you check on me? I have this, this, and this. But at the same time, it's like, like everyone has their own way of checking on someone. And when someone does that for you, if you don't kind of tell them, if you don't open up, like whose fault is it? When it came to that, I kind of did take Deandra's side a little bit because, I mean, as much as they want to say Deandra's self-absorbed and she's all about herself, like, she talks her problems out and she airs it out, and she never has that issue where she feels like she didn't get something out of her chest because it's probably
that's true. And I just can't believe that Deandra and Leanne ruined their long friendship over a TV show. Like, that's what blows my mind. You know what I mean? Over a TV show. Because honestly, it got to both of their heads. Like, remember when the girls were talking about how they were both arguing about who's the star of the show?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like when they said who was the queen of the group, like they were literally fighting about who's the star of the show, and the girls were saying how intense it got, that they were in each other's faces yelling.
Like when we got involved with her little apron, she just shut everything down and was like, "Stop picking at my daughter before I come for you." Like she knew.
So Tiffany's working during the pandemic. These girls treat her like shit. I feel like she's trying really hard to be part of the group. Like she's buying them gifts, and then. I don't know. I just don't know why she's not meshing well with them. And I do think it could be a race thing.
I mean, it could be a race thing, but at the same time, like I feel like a lot of those girls don't vibe with her because those girls don't really do anything for a living. And like Mama D said, like this girl has a
What
job.
about Bobby clothes?
Exactly, exactly. Like she gets up every morning and has to leave her kids to go do something, while
In
these
the middle
girls are
of the
like
pandemic.
in the pandemic. Exactly.
Can you believe like it's Stephanie and Brandy who are like the last two OGs of Dallas standing? I would have never seen that.
Stephanie and Brandy. What's about to be only Stephanie, honestly.
Well, yeah, it is Stephanie now, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Do you
Yeah.
think she'd be able to continue without Brandy?
I wouldn't say so, yes, because she brings her own thing to the table. Like, you know how some housewives, you kind of like attach the two of them, kind of the way Teddy and Kyle were. Like,
That was the first ones I thought about. Yeah.
exactly. And I don't see her attached like that to anyone. Like, I feel like she goes on her lunch dates with this person, she goes like shopping with this person. So she has a good dynamic with the other ladies to the point where, like, if Brandy's gone, I don't think she's at too much of a loss. She probably just
That's
had a raise.
true. She just doesn't give me like the Nene, Kyle vibes, Teresa vibes, someone who like hosts the group together, you know?
I feel like there's gonna be a shakeup coming, and I think a good mix to bring back would probably be Tiffany Hendra.
Really, I liked Carrie Duber.
Mm.
I love how Tiffany is kind of coming for everyone on Twitter. You can tell she's beefing with everyone. Like when what's her face? Is that Carrie?
Mm-hmm.
Start like suggested like her snake necklace for Tiffany, like calling her snake pretty much, and it's like a $1,400 necklace. And Tiffany's like, no, you wouldn't like catch me dead wearing that, but instead I'll donate the amount, that money amount, to like some organization or some shit like that. I don't know. Tiffany's just doing it for me. She's just throwing the best shade on Twitter, and then she's like beefing with Cameron and Carrie, with all of them.
Really, I hate when they do that on Twitter. Honestly, like save it for the reunion. Yeah. Carrie
Right, and then
complaining about hot liquor though, like so that kind of made me laugh so loud. She's like, "I don't give you hot shit," and they're like,
we need another one of her little tea parties. Remember that? That was a hot season 2.
"Yes, that tea party."
That was good. I missed, like, I don't know. I feel like Dallas kind of has lost touch. Like seasons 2 and 3 were pretty good, but then in 4 last season it just went down, you know. And who do we blame? Leanne Tracism or Carrie for being casted?
Honestly, did like Leanne though. I liked she did bring a lot to the show.
What's one thing you're looking forward to in Dallas this season?
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to in Dallas is like that one argument we talked about earlier with Mama D and Deandra. Like, I'm looking forward to that because Mama D always like just says the realest. You know, it's like, you know, when like your friend's mom is yelling at them in front of you, it's like you're obviously on your like friend's side, but their mom is saying the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So I'm excited
Yes,
to see that.
I'm actually looking forward to see what the dynamic is by the end of the season, because I just feel like right now the dynamic is, I feel like it's Deandra and Tiffany against everyone, but more everyone against Deandra because Tiffany is trying to be cool with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope she's able to fit in because I would like to see her back for another season.
I mean, she was fitting in. I mean, when they were like eavesdropping to the conversation, and she was kind of just like, you know, like she was very neutral. She wasn't like talking mess with Deandra. It made everyone like not be against her that way. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this girl really is neutral. Maybe we can all be friends with her, like not just Deandra. But I kind of like that side of her, like when she stayed neutral and just let Deandra say whatever she had to
I
say.
like feel bad for Tiffany when she like dove in the water and she was just like over it. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, and I felt really, really bad for her, like when she dove in the water and how bad she felt, like, because she like, I mean, I can understand, you know, like she is literally bending over backwards to fit in with these girls, and
right, and they're
that's
just
the
not
moment,
accepting it.
and that's the moment where it clicked to her, like I'm doing too much for these girls that are still giving me a hard time, like screw this. I wish she didn't cry, and I wish she didn't do all that, and but I can't blame someone for, like
Yeah.
there's times where we all should stay strong, but yeah, I can't blame her for that.
No, yeah, I would have reacted the same way. Like in the way that she left early the next day, I totally agree with her on all of that. Like I said, I like Cameron, but I just don't like how Cameron is being like. And same with Stephanie. I'm like, are they trying to find someone they think is weaker and try to pick on them? Because you know damn well they would not talk to Liam like that.
Not at all. Leanne would
Exactly.
explain all of them.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I don't get where Stephanie all of a sudden got these balls from. Like,
Mhm.
girl, like, how about call out your racist best friend? How about it?
Season like this season, it's been a little lackluster. I mean, you know, like there's been some girls who really bring it. I mean, we saw it with the Salt Lake City cast. Like it's their first season and they brought it. So, I mean, Dallas, like just pick it up some. Like you know, just Mama.
Yeah, and they're finding their way, but they're finding their way.
Yeah. But I mean, that's all we have, really. I mean, it's been super fast paced, so there's really not much to discuss here, if you ask me.
All right, for sure. Until next time, thanks for checking us out, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and
Show some love or show some hate. You know, I'm down for either or.